Guys, it was amazing, 20 out of 10, easy, just blew my mind, best Spider-Man ever. Okay, all the MCU stands are gone now, and the people that watch the video for 5 seconds and then comment something angry, they've been dealt with. Now, let's go and slip into something much more comfortable. I'll be right back. Much better. Oh my god, this is so much more homely. I'm feeling better already. Just for context, I ended up picking that shirt up after Civil War, and I was really excited for what we seen in 2017 and, well, 2017 in real life, but 2020 under Sony's banner, they want to make more timeline changes than Kang the Conqueror. Normally, I wouldn't be so harsh on a film or very critical, but this character I hold so dear to me, and I hold it at a very, very high level. This is a character that shouldn't just have another movie like Ant-Man or Doctor Strange. Although they are good, this is Spider-Man we're talking about. I'm not sure how exactly to talk about this film or where really to start. I think I'm just gonna go off how I felt progressively over the years with it. When I came out of the cinema in 2017, I said, it was good, right? It wasn't bad, I had fun watching it, right? But then I got home and stuff just felt off, and I had almost the same identical reaction to High Top Films. If you haven't heard of High Top, go check him out, subscribe, do all that shit. Trust me, he's fucking worth it. And he came to the exact same conclusion that I did, that this is a good movie, but not a good representation of Spider-Man. That's not Spider-Man. This is just, I don't see Peter Parker, I see Tom Holland, and I can't get past it. Now, before half of you unsubscribe, I really want to explain to you why this just doesn't work for me. But I'm going to give you my pros first. The pacing is great for the most part. That gets like a 9 out of 10. The acting all around is great, in particular Tom Holland and Michael Keaton, my god. Tom does just a fantastic job selling the innocence of a kid, someone that's 15 and gonna make mistakes and make the wrong decisions. I was really excited about Spider-Man being in the MCU and being amongst the Avengers, and we got that with Civil War. I got so excited about all the places that this could go, and it wasn't that I had overhyped expectations and because it didn't meet what I wanted, the movie is bad. No, I think it has genuine problems. I didn't think this movie was going to be the second coming of Christ, but I did think that Kevin Feige and everyone at Marvel was going to really push to make another massive, big blockbuster. Like, you know, some of the Thor movies were kind of here or there, but then once Civil War came around, or an Avengers movie, that was one where you got together, you had to watch it. Okay, it wasn't Ant-Man, it was an Avengers movie, and I thought that they were going to make this Spider-Man franchise one of those, and dollars-wise, it has become that. I guess I mean the attention to character and detail and how Tom is and the way that these movies were going to go. I just thought they would have really made something special out of this, seeing that Spider-Man was back home with Marvel. Or owned by Sony, but deals with Marvel. I know about it all, it's just complicated. They've got a new deal now, and who knows what all the intricate details are on that. Who cares? No one gives a fuck about these companies and their money. We care about this guy. Not me, but Spider-Man. One of the first things I wasn't keen on when seeing the advertisement and going into it was Iron Man's involvement. I like Iron Man, and this movie made me not like Iron Man. All of a sudden he felt intrusive on the film, and he was everywhere in the film. And the villain spawns from Iron Man, and that trend continues on through the rest of it, which really starts to get irritating. I felt like I was seeing Robert Downey Jr. just getting a paycheck here, that he's not even playing Tony Stark, he's just Robert Downey Jr. And I hate the idea that they're like, oh, we have to put Iron Man in this film, and we've got to sell it with Iron Man. Look guys, in the trailer, Iron Man, you got to come and see this Spider-Man movie, because it has Iron Man in it. If you are forgetting, Spider-Man had 3 massive fuck-off movies before the first Iron Man even existed. Spider-Man is a big deal. People know and love Spider-Man, and they would have come to have seen this movie regardless of whether it was good or bad, because it's Spider-Man. But if you made it that good, you wouldn't need Iron Man. If you build something great, people will come. A good example of that is this game. It had no prior universe, no prior knowledge, nothing, and just made a great story. And if you build it great, people will come. The audience isn't stupid. All of a sudden, everything that was amazing about Spider-Man interacting with the Avengers became a curse very quickly, because it was like Sony couldn't get their grubby fingers off the fact that they could play around with all these Marvel characters and just throw them here, there, references, whatever they want. We start the film with Adrian Toomes trying to clean up with damage control around all this Avengers stuff that happened in 2012. And so we've got that cool wink and nod, but then the next thing we see is a recap of Civil War and all the other Avengers and everything that happened there. And then we get Spider-Man fighting the Avengers in a bank. Like, it doesn't stop or let go. It doesn't let Spider-Man just be him. I get it, and referencing the Avengers is cool, but when the references and little nods and winks are overpowering the story itself, it's like the MCU and all of its little Easter eggs are like icing on a cake, but without the actual foundation of a cake itself, it falls apart. Can I just butt into what I'm saying real quick to just say that I've never been a fan of Spider-Man idolizing Tony Stark? Like, Tony Stark is an egotistical billionaire, and Peter's always been, no, you do the right thing and you help the little guy out. You know, it seems that Spider-Man would idolize Captain America much more than he ever would Tony, and even Andrew Garfield felt the same way about this. I feel like I'm starting to reiterate everything that High Top Films said, but it's true. This Peter faces no consequences. The bodega restaurant across the road when he's fighting the Avengers gets destroyed, and seemingly nothing comes of it. He ditches Ned at Liz's party and, you know, never shows up as Spider-Man. And Ned's like, you know, we're cool, we'll be best friends the next day. He ignores his responsibilities, gets detention, breaks out of detention, still, you're like, oh, you're a good kid, just, you know, get on your way, don't do anything bad, you scamp. He endangers the decathlon team, and it seemingly has no consequences. Got the date with Liz, he's gotten this far, he's in a suit, he's taken her there to the dance, and then just pieces out, and ditches her, and it's fucking completely fine. She's kind of more or less, you know, I'm more upset about this other thing, and I'm not even gonna, where were you, and why would you leave, and you always left. It would have made more sense if she just exploded. But even then, Liz and him share just no chemistry. It's just, it is accurate that this is someone that is got a crush on Liz purely because she looks pretty and knows nothing about this chick. That really embodies a young teenager. But because they share nothing, it doesn't seem that heartbreaking when she's all like, no, I'm going to Oregon. He's like, oh, okay. I hope, take care, Liz. Consequences play such a big role in this feeling like it has a grip on reality. If there's no consequences, Peter's living in this fantasy world where his bully's really not that bad of a bully. He's mostly good looking and one of the best in his class. He can get away with doing pretty much anything and no one cares. His life seems way too good. This guy can catch a break whenever the hell he wants to. The first time I seen his suit, I was like, what? And I'm sure I would have elaborated on that a bit when I talked about it in the Captain America Civil War movie review, which is, you can find that here somewhere, there's a huge playlist. Here, it also takes away from this character. We won't ever have him swinging around and the thought bubbles to himself thinking, oh god, you know, can't believe this is happening or that's happening. We got a lot of that in Spectacular and it's great. Even so, this Karen like AI inside of his suit, this exposition could be shed out in way better ways. You could have him talking to Ned or Liz or anybody. You can even have a scene with Aunt May talking about exactly what's going on. Speaking of Aunt May, why, she gets younger with every version of Spider-Man. She's gonna be like 20 in the next franchise, but why does everyone have to hit on her? I get the little wink and nod with Robert Downey Jr. because of their past acting career, but everyone, it's not funny to me. The funniest joke in the film goes to the teacher who says,
you know, we made it out alive, and that's the important thing. I couldn't bear to lose a student on a school trip. Not again.
Thankfully.
So back on the subject of this suit, with this suit, he's never just talking to himself, he's never swinging with himself. He's always got Karen there to talk to now. When it shows he's got 500 different web shooter combinations, I mean, there's no creativity from him there. Stark's come up with all this stuff. The design, Stark has come up with, you know, Spider-Man should create his own suit. It's a very personal thing. In the way that Garfield's is more gritty and Tobey's is very just amazing, okay? We'll get to that different day. Here, it's not his design and it's not personalized to him, which is something they touch up on in the next film, which I kind of appreciate. The pacing all around is pretty good, especially with action sequences and where they come in and slot in. You know, you're never kind of bored with this film, but the action sequences leave a lot to be desired. A moment where the action feels intense, it just lacked that, and when it was about to be tense with the boat sequence, for example, Tony comes in and just saves the day anyway because Spider-Man can't do it himself. He can't be left alone in this movie. It's a bit hard to explain what I mean with this boat sequence. A lot of it's camera choice as well as the pacing in the action sequence. Just look at this one scene where Spider-Man's trying to save the boat in Homecoming compared to the scene where Spider-Man is trying to stop the train in Spider-Man 2. Even without sound, because, you know, copyright claims and shit, you can just see the intensity and the close-ups in Maguire's eyes and everything. Just, it's shot better. There's a lot of reverse shot back and forth, like it's lazier than me. There's a lot of stuff that really gets under my skin as a Spider-Man fan here, especially the twist with Michelle Jones at the end. I don't care what ethnicity you are. I care about the character and that the person playing the character is portraying the character. MJ is an outgoing party girl that basically uses that to cover up the fact that she was abused a lot when she was younger. So very outgoing party girl. Michelle Jones here is an introverted, awkward. She's one of those girls at a party where you're having a drink with your mates and it's all good, and then she brings up some awkward thing out of nowhere to try and make everything as depressing as possible. Just no fun at all, man. I don't root for Tom to get with Zendaya. Albeit Zendaya is very pretty, the character isn't Mary Jane and they try to Michelle Jones. It's MJ. We see what you're trying to do. But let's talk about someone that is great. Vulture. Michael Keaton as Vulture. This is the best Vulture I've ever seen. He's not super comic accurate, obviously that's a bit hard to pull off and take seriously, but they implement as much of the comic design into a practical wingsuit as possible. The way that he has a flight mask and a full helmet on so that he can fly and go at high altitudes. It's all practical, makes sense, and it becomes even more comic accurate towards the end when he takes the helmet off and you see just the fur and the neck and the wings. I wish he had his helmet smashed in like 10 minutes earlier so we could get a bit more of that like comic accurate Vulture, as well as a lot more of expression in Michael Keaton's face. Seeing him actually there cutting Spider-Man's webs with his sharp wings. The wings are cool, they're knives. Vulture I have almost no problems with. My favorite scene in this film has to be after the twist and when Michael Keaton is driving Peter to Homecoming. The scene's really tense, it's really dramatic. I love that Michael Keaton's really he's just intense. He doesn't even really yell in this film. He just portrays Adrian Toomes so well here. Best version of Vulture. After Tony Stark takes away his suit, it becomes a pretty good Spider-Man movie, you know? Then he's back to basics, he's back in his pajamas. He doesn't have a Karen that he can rely on inside of his suit. He doesn't have a million web shooter combinations. It's just him on his own trying to save the day, and he taking on Vulture. That's Spider-Man. It's much better than when he had the suit. It makes me wish that at the very end he didn't just say, no, I don't want to join the Avengers and wear that suit. It's, I don't want the suit back. I'm gonna make my own suit. I'm gonna be me instead of trying to be you. And maybe in the event that the Avengers have to fight Thanos, he will suit up in the Iron Spider just because he needs to. I can see here they wanted to avoid the origin story as much as possible, but then they wanted to go further with making it as different as they possibly can, you know? Let's not have Harry, let's have Ned. Aunt May can be really young. Let's make him have a crush on Liz. Let's make it as different as possible. Do you know what's as different as possible? Miles Morales. They wanted to make Miles Morales, and if you'd made it Miles Morales, switched out Aunt May for Miles' mum, you'd have Ned there already for Gank. I don't think I'd have as many problems with this film as I do. A lot of the things that happen in this film suit Miles Morales better than they would Peter. I guess it's something to think on, you know, and at the same time we hadn't had Into the Spider-Verse or him in his own game in the sequel to this one, so it makes sense in a dumb, twisted way that the public's not ready to accept a black person as Spider-Man. I mean, look, we had him in the comics and stuff, but I can see people getting very agitated at the fact that we're only going to get one Spider-Man in this Marvel universe, or until the multiverse stuff, and he was going to be Miles. Spider-Man in this universe really should have been, I mean, this Spider-Man, this is the one. The point of Spider-Man is that he is relatable, alright? He seems to be the most attractive and good looking in his class, you know, he gets no flack for that. He seems to be the smartest. He gets bullied, but he's not really getting bullied. You see it even more in the second film, that he's maybe just the annoying kid of the group. Peter faces little to no consequences for everything that he does. Yeah, that's real life. That happened to me. Peter has money problems. Oh, wait, no. He was given a multi-million-dollar suit by a billionaire mentor. It feels like this kid is given everything, and for me, that's just not relatable. Tom Holland does a great job at portraying this youthful teenager. The acting all around is good. It's a good movie, but I cannot let go of all the things that I love and care about this character so much. That's not Spider-Man to me. It's just not. I don't hate this movie and I don't hate the portrayal. It just is disappointing. It's frustrating compared to what it could have been. We could have had something akin to the Dark Knight of their own Spider-Man trilogy in the Marvel Universe, something massive on its own playing field altogether. But instead we got another fun Marvel movie that would just fit in with any other one of the Marvel movies we've had in the catalogue. And so for that reason, Spider-Man Homecoming is going to get a 6 out of 10. It's a good movie. I don't want to take that away from it, so it's a positive grade, but I cannot give it any more than a 6. No way. Not from me anyway, and I'm only so critical because I care so much about this character. But, you know, that's what I think. What did you think of the film? Did you think that this is the best Spider-Man yet? Tell me why. I want to know what resonates with you because I want to enjoy it as much as you do. Did you think that this was terrible? Did you think it was way worse than I'm giving it credit for? That this should burn in a fire and it should be rebooted? I don't know. You tell me. If you've enjoyed the video, consider subscribing or dropping a like on the video. Helps me out a lot, helps the algorithm, you know, gets me pushed a bit further. If you've made it all the way through to the end of the video, you're a bloody legend, and hopefully I can see you guys next time when I'm talking about dun, 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 dun.